When I last restrung my guitar, I made a point of leaving the strings long at the end because I had in mind that it would be a gag. Because I remember Alex Day would always leave his strings ridiculously long and it would irritate the hell out of me. But turns out the way that my camera is positioned right now, you can't even see my guitar at all, let alone the strings hanging off the end of it. I could move the camera a bit farther away, but the shot probably wouldn't look quite as nice. I like the way it's set up here. So just, you might not see my guitar, but imagine that I am playing guitar in this video, because that's what I'm doing off screen. No face paint today. There's a good reason for that. I have not had a lot of success in making guitar videos, singing videos in the past, because I think for me, I started getting really into guitar in like 2019, I think. And when I did that, I told myself, I had in mind that I wouldn't be trying to get good at playing guitar. That would not be my goal. My goal would just be to enjoy playing music. That's it. That's all I gotta do. Just enjoy playing music as much as I can. And so I kind of have an anti-performance mentality toward playing music. But, on the other hand, I do kind of want to make more videos because I've been a bit sparse due to some reasons. There are reasons why I haven't been making very many videos. And, this is one way to do that. Just make videos that are just me playing guitar, because, hey, something I can do. It's easy, quick, and I'd like to do more of them. I did an acapella thing about a month ago. That was fun, but I haven't actually played anything. Actually, the first two videos I put out, no, not the first two. The third two videos that I put out on my channel were me playing guitar. I played a couple of Marilyn Manson songs. And I privated those videos. And the two that came before them. Because they were only supposed to be temporary videos anyway. They're not really supposed to be like real videos. But I thought I could do better than what I did. Because the whole anxiety of, performing it was just, it was ruining my ability to really do a good job. So that's why I'm not wearing the face paint, because the face paint is all about performance. That's the whole philosophy of the face paint, that this is theater. But when I'm playing music, it's not theater. This is just me playing music. So I want to make it feel as much like I am just playing music on my own with nobody watching as possible. Because that is when I sound my best. I think you'll understand now that I've explained it. But with that in mind, I actually don't know what I'm going to play. I'm just going to play whatever comes to mind. Dutchman's not the kind of man to keep his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. But that's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is golden in the morning, Margaret brings him breakfast she believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snows. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes. His cap and coat are patched with love that Margaret sewed there. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals and calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. Till Margaret comes to take him home again, through unforgiving streets that trip him though she holds his arm. Sometimes he thinks that he's alone, calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Winter swirls the windmills around. She winds his muffler tighter. They sit in the kitchen. The tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name. She makes his bed up, humming some old love song. She learned it when the tune was very new. He hums a line or two, they hum together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. That's the Dutchman. I was introduced to that one via Tommy Makem and Liam Clancy from their concert album from the 70s.
Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Sea.
I like that one because I don't like love songs, because it seems like love songs are the thing you write when you're not creative enough to come up with an original idea. But I like that one because it's about old people. It's about, really old people, one of them having severe dementia, implying that he dies at the end of the song. But it's also a love song, which, I don't know, I like it. It's different. I figured I'd get out a harmonica, and the one that happens to be in my holder right now has screws in it, which means it's my G harmonica, because I lost the screws in my C. I only know a couple songs in G, so I guess we're playing, what's it called? Go no more roving in the night, Jolly Beggar. Yeah, Jolly Beggar Man. There's another song called like Jolly Beggar Man or something similar. Like it's how does it go? I am a jolly beggar and a beggar, I have been for 3 score more. Blah, 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 blah. That one, it's not that one. It's a different one. This one is I first heard this one from the Corys on their album Bonnet, Belt, and Sword, and that was an okay version, but then I was blown away when I heard Planksty do it live.
We'll go no more roving in the night. We'll go no more roving, let the moon shine so bright. We'll go no more roving.
They also recorded it on an album, I can't remember which album, whether it was like Cold Blow in the Rainy Night or whatever. Maybe it was their first album, I don't know. I have to warm up the harmonica because I haven't played it in a while. I'm a bit out of practice with harmonica, so I'm probably not going to be that great at it. I might make some mistakes, but I'll try my best. It's mediocre, but it'll do.
Of a jolly beggar man came tripping o'er the plain. He came unto a farmer's door, a lodging for to gain. The farmer's daughter, she came out and viewed him cheek and chin. She says he is a handsome man, I pray we take him in. We'll go no more roving in the night. We'll go no more roving, let the moon shine so bright. We'll go no more a-roving. He would not lie within the barn, or yet within the byre, but he would in the corner lie down by the kitchen fire. It's then the beggar's bed was made of good clean sheets and hay, and down beside the kitchen fire the jolly beggar lay. We'll go no more roving in the night. We'll go no more roving, let the moon shine so bright. We'll go no more roving. The farmer's daughter, she got up to go the kitchen door, and there she saw the beggar standing naked on the floor. He took the maid into his arms, and to the bed he ran. Kind sir, you will be easy now, you'll waken our good man. We'll go no more roving in the night. We'll go no more roving, let the moon shine so bright. We'll go no more roving. She lay as still as any mouse, as though she had been dead. The beggar, he got in with her and stole her maidenhead. We'll go no more roving in the night. We'll go no more roving, let the moon shine so bright. We'll go no more roving. Oh, now you are no beggar, sir, you are some gentleman, for you have stole my maidenhead, and I am quite undone. I am no lord, I am no squire, of beggars I be one, and beggars they be robbers all, so you are quite undone. We'll go no more roving in the night. We'll go no more roving, let the moon shine so bright. We'll go no more roving. She took the bed in both her arms and threw it at the wall. Says, go you with the beggar man, my maidenhead and all. We'll go no more roving in the night. We'll go no more roving, let the moon shine so bright. We'll go no more roving.
Alright, haven't played that one in a while, so that was a little bit rough. But I'm always rough, you know. That's why I couldn't really do this live, because I'm always making some sort of mistake. But if I have multiple takes, I can, find one that'll work. Alright, let me attempt it. Any fan of Irish music knows what I'm going to attempt. It's the one. The big one. The hard one. The one with a lot of lyrics. And a lot of... I'm using a capo for this one on the 2nd fret. It's a little bit easier. I've played these hundreds of thousands of times. Man, am I ever gonna get it? Seems like I'm never gonna get it. It's weird. I thought I would. I thought it'd be like a first or second try. funny thing is I've played this song many times perfectly before, but not having a lot of luck today. Funny thing is, you're not seeing how far I'm getting in a lot of these takes. I'm actually, some of them I almost got to the end of the song. So. I didn't know this was going to be a whole video. I just thought I would play the song, but no. The concept of this video is going to be how many takes is it going to take for me to play the song without any major flaws. I'm going to do it. One of these takes. It's gonna work.
Well, in the merry month of June, now from my home I started, left the girls of two, nearly broken-hearted, saluted father dear, kissed my darling, another drink of pint of beer, my grief and tears smothered enough to reap the corn. Leave where I was born, I cut the self like thorn, a banished roasting gobbled a brand new pair of brogues, rattling over the bogs, frightening all the dogs on the rock. You know it's a double and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the hare and turn her down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, rack below the ride. And Mullingar that died, I rested limbs so weary, started by daylight the morning, bright and early, drank a drop of the pure to keep my heart from shrinking. That's the Paddy's cure whenever he's on for drinking. I see the lassie smile, laughing all the while at my curious stouts. It's such a heart above the and that's if I was hired. Wages I required till I was nearly tired on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, whack below the rod. In Dublin next I ride, I thought it such a pity to be so soon deprived of you. With that I said, well then I took a stroll all among the quality bundle. It was stolen in a neat locality. Something crossed my mind, oh, when I looked behind the bundle, could I find upon my stick go up and inquiring after the road. Said my colic rogue wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, whack below the rod. From there I got away, my spirit never failing, landed on the cage as the ship was sailing. Captain Nappy roared, set the no rum Paddy when I jumped aboard a cabin bound for Paddy. Down among the pigs, did some party rigs and danced some party jigs. The water round me bubbling when the baldy head wished myself was dead or better far instead. On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, whack below the rod. The boys of Liverpool, when we safely landed, called myself a fool. I could no longer stand it, but began to boil. Tempered I was losing coral there in Isle. They began abusing around me, so says I shall lay the island fly. Galway boys were nigh and saw I was a hobbling with a loud array, joining in the affray, quickly clear the way for the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, whack below the road. Just as I play it perfectly, or somewhat perfectly, I realize my guitar sounds a bit out of tune, but hey! We can't have everything, can we? The point is, I did it. It's funny, it was in tune when I started, but playing the Rocky Road to Dublin so many times has ruined my good tuning. Wow, the A was almost on A flat. That's crazy. That high E never gets out of tune. Always consistent. Man, my leg is shaking. My leg is shaking. I've been playing that song so many times. I'll play it some more. This time I don't care if I win. I swear, most of the time, I can play that song okay. But today, because the camera's on, of course, takes me however many tries that was. I don't know, I'm guessing that was like at least 70 tries. It'll be interesting to go into the edit and see exactly how many times it took me to play that. I'm probably overestimating, honestly. It felt like 70. It's probably more like 60. I'm still out of tune, but I don't care. that ball.
Hey, well, Lindsay, oh, when a night came by, played o'er them all. Doon my grooved side, oh, ye may yet my favor win. Hey, well, Lindsay, oh, you man gain consent over all my kin. My greenwood side, yo. He gained consent over all her kin. Hey, well, Lindsay, oh, he forgot to speak to her brother John. Doon my greenwood side, yo. Oh, John took a knife, made long and sharp. Hey, well, Lindsay, oh, he stabbed the bonny bride right to her heart. Doon by greenwood side, yo. Oh, lay me on yon low, low hill. Hey, well, Lindsay, oh, set me down, and I'll make my will. Doon my greenwood side, yo. What will ye gie to your brother John? Hey, well, Lindsay, oh, a gallows tree for to hang him. Doon my greenwood side, yo. That one, I first learned, actually the only version of that one I know, I think, is from the Corries on their album Kishmal's Galley, which I think that's definitely my favorite Corries album. Although I haven't listened to them all. But I think it would be hard to beat Kishmal's Galley, because that one is perfection.
There were three ladies played at ball. Hey, Lindsay, oh, but a night came by, played o'er them all. Doon by greenwood side, oh.
Song called Cruel Brother. That's what they called it. There's probably a bunch of different names for it. Sober man and plenty. I'm going to play an Andy M. Stewart song. Not my favorite Andy M. Stewart song, but my second favorite. Oh, wait. C would be better than G, I think. A little bit higher up. Oh, there's sober men and plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a Ramblin Rover, they Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. There are those who
to feign enjoyment of merciless employment. Their ambition was this deployment since the minute they left the school. They save and scrape and ponder while the rest go out and squander. See the world and rove and wander, and they're happier as a rule. Oh, there's sober men in plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a Ramblin Rover, they Orkney, Doon to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. I have roamed through all the nations, tamed delight in all creations, and I've tried a wee sensation where the company did prove kind. When parting was no pleasure, we drunk another measure to the good friends that we treasured, for they always are in our minds. Oh, there's sober men in plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a Ramblin Rover, they Orkney, Doon to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. If you're bent with arthritis, your bowels have got colitis, you've galloping bronchitis, and you're thinking it's time you died. If you've been a man of action, while you're lying there in traction, you can get some satisfaction thinking, Jesus, at least I tried. Oh, there's sober men in plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a Ramblin Rover, they Orkney, Doon to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. Oh, there's sober men in plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a Ramblin Rover, they Orkney, Doon to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. Oh, that's a good one. That one, the one shame of that one is that there isn't really a good version of it available, because the one that I really like is just one that Andy M. Stewart did back in 2008, and somebody recorded it on a camcorder, and it sounds like garbage, and you can hear audience members talking, and it's not a real track. But the one that he did record for real is an a cappella version that's all slow and boring. So there's no good version of this song available. And that's a shame, because it is a great one.
The sober man in plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a Ramblin Rover, we Orkney, Doon to Dover. We were on the country over, and together we'll face the world. Come on!
I think we'll play another song by an Andy, not Andy M. Stewart this time, but Andy Irvin. I call him Irvine, but I think it's supposed to be Irvin, technically. Now this one, you'll notice, has a similar thematic quality to the last one, because they are both songs about the roving trade. As it happens, Andy Irvin is a big fan of Woody Guthrie, and was actually a pen pal of Woody Guthrie when he was a kid. And Woody Guthrie was on his deathbed. So my C harmonica isn't in very good condition. But yeah, Woody would play with a harmonica and a guitar. So Andy Irvin then wrote a song about Woody Guthrie that you can play on a harmonica and guitar. Now, I'm not going to play the way he does it, because he's amazing and I can't do that. But I have kind of adapted it to make it easier on both instruments. So I'm just warming up the harmonica, getting used to it. That part's hard to play because it's got a bend in it, and I'm not very good at bending. But you know, Tom Dooley, if you do it down here instead of up here, Tom Dooley has a bend. There's a bunch of bends in that one. But we're not playing that now. We're playing Never Tire of the Road. Woody Guthrie, about Woody Guthrie by Andy Irvin. Oh wait, gotta remove the capo.
I was just a small-time country boy when I left that dusty town. Route 66 to the westward, and I hopped an old freight down. California, here I come, by the side door Pullman and the sunburned thumb. They call the Stokies low-down bums, and the police on us frown. Never tire of the road, never tire of the rolling wheel, never tire of the ways of the world. Way down yonder is calling me, and the dark road leads me onward, and the highway, that's my cult, and the lonesome voice that I heard in my head said, never tire of the road. California to the New York Island, me and my guitar. We played in many a hobo jungle and many a skid row bar. Standing out in the wind and the rain, that lonesome whistle is a sweet refrain when you're waiting on some old freight train that carries an empty car. Never tire of the road, never tire of the rolling wheel, never tire of the ways of the world. Way down yonder is calling me, and the dark road leads me onward, and the highway, that's my cult. And the lonesome voice that I heard in my head said, never tire of the road. All on board of a Liberty ship, we sailed the ocean blue. We were carrying guns and TNT and D-Day soldiers too. All the men on board agreed with Cisco, Jimmy, Longy, and me, and our song rang out across the sea, you fascists bound to lose. All of you fascists bound to lose. All of you fascists bound to lose. All of you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose. Them ever fool you or take you by surprise. The dirty smell of the politician and the man with the greed in his eyes. One big union, that's our plan, and the IWW's your only man. The flames of discontent will fan for the cause that never dies. All of you fascists bound to lose. All of you fascists bound to lose. All of you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose.
might have made a few mistakes in that one. But an interesting thing about Never Tire the Road is there was a studio recording of that on one of Andy Irvin's solo albums. But it didn't have the political stuff in it. And then he did it live, and he added in all that. He added in that verse about the politicians and the union and the whole fascist thing. That wasn't in the studio version. So yeah, I don't know what that's about. I guess I don't know. He rewrote his own song later or something, or maybe he just truncated it for the studio version. But yeah, it doesn't have the same punch without all that stuff. That stuff is kind of a huge part of why the song is good. And it's such a big part of the Woody Guthrie identity, the Woody Guthrie story, that not including it, I think, is kind of a disservice.
Oh yes, all of you fascists bound to lose. All of you fascists bound to lose. Yes, all of you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose.
I'll do one more song today. This one was the second song I ever learned on harmonica. The first was Dirty Old Town. Don't think I'll play Dirty Old Town yet. Maybe another day. But I'll play this one, Arthur McBride.
I had a first cousin called Arthur McBride. He and I took a stroll down by the seaside, seeking good fortune and what might betide. It was just as the day was a-dawning, and after resting we both took a tramp. We met Sergeant Harper and Corporal Cramp, besides the wee drummer who beat up for camp with his rowdy dow-dow in the morning. He said, "My young fellows, if you will enlist a guinea, you quickly will have in your fists, and likewise a crown for to kick up the dust and drink the king's health in the morning. For a soldier he leads a very fine life, and he always is blessed with the charming young wife. He pays all his debts without sorrow or strife, and he always lives pleasant and charming." For a soldier he always is decent and clean, in the finest of clothing he's constantly seen, while other poor fellows go dirty and mean, and sup on thin gruel in the morning. Says Arthur, "I would not be proud of your clothes, for you've only the lend of them, as I suppose, and you better not change them one night, or you know if you do you'll be flogged in the morning." Although we are simple and free, we take great delight in our own company. We have no desire desire strange countries to see. Although that your offer is charming, if we were such fools as to take your advance, all hazards and danger we'd barter on chance. The king has no scruple to send us to France, where we would be shot in the morning. Oh, now, says the sergeant, if I hear but one word, I instantly now will out with my sword, and into your bodies as strength will afford. So now, my gay devils, take warning. But Arthur and I, we took in the odds, and we gave them no chance for to launch out their swords. Our whacking shillelaghs came over their heads, and paid them right smart in the morning. As for the wee drummer, we rifled his pouch, and we made a football of his rowdy dow-dow, and into the ocean to rock and to roll, and bade it a tedious returning. As for the old rapier that hung by his side, we flung it as far as we could in the tide. To the devil I pitch you, says Arthur McBride, to temper your steel in the morning.
That one took me more tries than I thought it would, because I guess it's been long enough that I've forgotten a lot of the lyrics, or not forgotten the lyrics, but just kind of my mind mixes them up, puts them in the wrong place, so I kind of had to do it a few times in order to get it right. But the interesting thing about that one, Arthur McBride, the version that I just did was the version that Planksty did on their first album called Planksty. And there's another version, though. There's a version by Paul Brady, which is totally different. It's like, me and my cousin one Arthur McBride as we went a walking down by the seaside. You know, it's a pretty song.
Oh, me and me cousin one Arthur McBride as we went a walking down by the seaside. Now mark what followed and what did betide, for it being on Christmas morning.
But I like this one more, even though I think the Paul Brady one is more famous. But interesting, Paul Brady actually was a member of Planksty during the tours that they did, or one of the tours that they did, but he was never actually on a Planksty album. And after Planksty broke up the first time, Paul Brady and Andy Irvin, the singer of this particular song on Planksty, they did an album together. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was just called Andy Irvin and Paul Brady. I think that was the title of the album. And then Planksty got back together again and then they broke up again. But Paul Brady was never on a Planksty album, which is weird to me because I think that he was actually really good when he was in Planksty, or when he was working with Andy Irvin. But yeah, the Paul Brady version of Arthur McBride is actually from that album that he did with Andy Irvin. It's from Andy Irvin and Paul Brady. So that's interesting. It's interesting that they worked on the same album together, but they had two completely different ways of singing that song.
And now, says the sergeant, if I hear but one word, I instantly now will out with my sword, and into your bodies a strength will afford. So now, my gay devils, take warning. But Arthur and I, we took the odds. We gave them no chance but to launch out their swords. Our whacking shillelaghs came over their heads and paid them right smart in the morning.
And then Bob Dylan did a cover of the Paul Brady version, which was terrible because his voice sounded really bad.
Me and my cousin, one Arthur McBride, as we went walking down by the seaside. Now mark what followed and what did betide, for it being on Christmas morning.
And Bob Dylan's voice doesn't always sound bad. It's just on that particular track and a bunch of others, it happens to sound really bad. But yeah, that's all I got in me today. I'm tired. I can't play anymore. Goodbye.